Welcome to NoxtromTV Global Trends, and today we're going to be talking about the illegal immigration in the US and temporary workers from the US. So let me start doing this presentation, just showing up a little bit of what we're going to be talking about. And one of the tools that actually are important for the US is the temporary workers. Here in Canada, temporary workers are really needed to be able to work on the agricultural side. So Canada, we have a very rich program that we bring temporary workers from Mexico and other countries. Most of them are in Leamington. But also there are areas across Ontario, across Canada, we have temporary workers. In the US, temporary workers are basically the ones who can go to the United States with the visas with the H-2A and H-2B. H-2A is for agricultural purposes. Those are temporary visas are given for temporary workers, and the other one is H-2B, which is for non-agricultural workers, mostly construction. So right now the cap for the construction workers is around 66,000 workers, which is really small compared to the demand of workers that are needed for the construction side. And for the cultural workers, I don't see any cap yet, but definitely there is a cap on the number of temporary agricultural workers are allowed to go in the States. So the visa for a temporary agricultural or construction worker is 3 years, and there is a 60 days they have to leave the country and reapply, and they will be allowed to go in. And this is a nice program to be taken care of, but there is a little awareness of this program, at least in Mexico. There is little knowledge about these programs. And also for the employers in the States, there are not really this much incentives to use these programs to be able to get workers to the construction side, to the agricultural side, and most of the migrants are flowing to US are illegal migrants. They want to stay. They want to stay forever. They are running from war. They are running from unsafe conditions, for violence, for economical problems where they're coming from. Could be Venezuela, Colombia, Nicaragua, Central America. So there's a lot of illegal migration to the US, and the US needs to stop that. And the thing is that I think they're now sending a clear message about why the United States cannot get just any immigrant to the country. They lose control. They don't have jobs for them. There is a burden for their economy, for their social services they have there. And so one of the things is that temporary workers are seasonal. So normally in the northern states, the seasonal workers actually works during summer and fall, and more southern side of the country, their seasonal workers work from spring, summer, and fall. In winter, there is not too much activity. Most of the construction and agricultural activities are on pause, which is very different than what happened in Mexico or the tropical countries where they have 2-3 seasons of crops a year. And the States, no, it's different. The States sometimes they have 1 or at most 2 seasons of work, unless it's in Canada. In Canada, there is 1 season, and there is a lot of greenhouses where they work mostly all the year, and those are specific programs. So for the agricultural side, they have activities like preparing, planting, and care for the crops, and the last is harvesting. harvest the crops, getting the products to the distribution centers and all those kind of activities. So there is a big need for H2B workers, which are non-agricultural, and those are, for example, the the drivers that takes the things. There is also a lot of construction working on maintenance. There's a lot of maintenance, especially in small communities where they need seasonal workers. And the construction side, we have builders, we have the tailors, which includes the drywalls, the painters, etc., etc. So those are the main activities for temporary workers that actually works only for seasonal. So those are really good tools to try to get United States and Canada economy moving, but it has to be really responsible on those. A lot of control about that, because it could be very easy for some of these workers just to neglect the obligations, neglect the duties, and just try to stay longer than they actually are allowed to, and then they break the system. And sometimes it's normal for they think, oh, I stay, 1 more year, nothing happens. So there's no education. There's no education on part of them to understand what the system is. So one of the things needs to be addressed is the balance. How to stop the illegal immigration in the U.S. without affecting the economy. One way is to increase the cap for the non-agricultural workers. I'm talking about H2B, because right now it's only 66,000, and I think should be more. There should be more H2B workers allowed to the U.S., because these are works that people from the U.S. they don't want to take, because those are hard work and it's seasonal work. Like construction projects, like dry work projects that only works, concrete pouring, the concrete only works in summer, and some places works in summer and fall, part of the fall, and then you cannot pour concrete, you cannot build because of the weather. It is not allowed to, to be able to complete those jobs. And so one way is to increase the cap for the workers that go to the U.S. and come to Canada, and just tight control on return program saving plan. Like giving a saving plan. If they're going to stay for 1 year, they're going to stay for 3 years. Giving them a saving plan, so when they go back, they have, they have accumulated a certain amount of money, so they can, go back and actually do something with the savings they have. And also, improve the deportation programs. The deportation programs need to be humane and respect for the people. That are caught illegally in the States or in Canada. There has to be deportation programs humane and with respect. And of course, collaboration with other countries, collaboration with Mexico, collaboration with countries of South America, and with other countries from the Caribbean. And return home incentives. Whenever a temporary worker goes back to the country of origin, they will have some incentives. Some, of course, the giving back, the savings they have. Giving them, opportunities for going back to their country, maybe some kind of discount fare, etc. So those are how to get the balance. And one of the things also I need to talk about is about the H2A, H2B upgrade. Those two programs, they have to be upgraded. They have to bring up to the reality. I think I read a little bit about the programs, and they need to bring up to the reality. They need to support some tax incentives for the employers and also for the employees, for the foreign workers that work. They have to have a realistic cap on the number of foreign workers, and of course, help with relocation services in collaboration with the country of origin. And actually, it's really important to have them prepare, have some education on what this the program is about. Because sometimes say, oh yeah, I'm just going to work there, I'm going to stay there for a few years, I'm going to become a gringo, etc. It's not like that. They have to have an education, they have to have an examination that they understand the laws, and that's the thing is missing. Yes, they complete all the paperwork, they complete everything, they apply, and they come and they still has, this Latin American mentality, he's going to stay a little bit longer, etc., etc. But the thing, they need to have the education, they need to have, they need to complete an examination and pass the examination when they are ready. Okay, we are running out of time, but I just want to talk about the temporary worker, program to prevent illegal migration, and of course mandatory courses for foreign workers for H2A and H2B, upgrade the H2A, H2B programs, and provide a potential orange card. Orange because, the workers, when they are working, they have this orange suit. So instead of green card, let's provide them with the orange card. They are temporary workers. You have a valid status temporary worker, you have the orange card, you can have benefits, but you have to comply. Also, one of the things the orange card will provide is monitoring using AI, using artificial intelligence to monitor and give provide the protection education about child born in the U.S., what the situation is, how is it going to impact, when you come back, it's going to be what it's going to be. And I think we are running out of time. Last but not least, collaboration with foreign countries. And for now, I think that's all we have for this segment. Thank you so much for tuning in NoxtromTV Global Trends, and this is our take on fighting illegal immigration with temporary foreign workers. Thank you.